Warning, this show may contain some crude humor and mild swearing. Listener discretion is advised. This show is produced by Geek Happy Network, constantly curious about the things we love. If you enjoy listening to Smörgåsbord, remember to subscribe to the show on Spotify, YouTube, or on your favorite podcast app. Remember to leave a review. We'd love to hear your thoughts. This is Smörgåsbord!
Welcome to Smörgåsbord, a show where we explore the rituals, myths, and all things strange about the world of food. I'm Mick, and here's my co-host,
Angel.
And today, in the quarantine edition, we are looking into eating bat as food.
Yum.
Yum.
This is how this all went down.
Apparently.
2020, the year of the bat.
The year of the bat. Actually, what's interesting and somewhat relevant, obviously, as we are in the current pandemic of COVID-19. When I was looking into bats for this episode, a lot of people seem to believe that the virus came from Wuhan province of China because of eating bats. And
Is it
obviously,
not?
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of theories. At first, they're like, it's bats. Then they're like, it's snakes. And then it's a pangolin.
Yeah, it was like
I
a
didn't
whole
even know
load
what a
of things.
pangolin was. It's an armadillo.
Oh,
thing.
is that what it is?
Yeah, they look
Oh.
like little armored, roly mammal things.
Right. Huh. Interesting.
Hmm?
Well,
Yeah.
we're not going to dive too much into COVID-19, obviously, because I think everyone's had enough of that in the media. I do want to clear up the fact that I think when it comes to a lot of the research and stuff, I found that bats might not actually be the full cause of COVID-19. So-
Intrigue.
I think when the whole thing
It's
in
people.
pandemic happened, a lot of the videos of people that were posting in social media were about these like people from China apparently eating bats or whatever. And they were starting to say that was the problem for all of it. But the more I looked into a lot of these videos, apparently a lot of them were debunked because most of those videos didn't actually happen in Wuhan. In fact, most of them didn't even happen in China. And most of them actually didn't even happen within this year. I think there was a popular one that was seen about this Asian-looking lady eating a bat, and apparently that happened in Oceania 2 years ago.
Where's Oceania?
I think it's in the Pacific Ocean. It's close to the
in
Philippines.
the ocean.
Yeah, it's like
This is
somewhere
why you
between
don't
the
go on a
Philippines
cruise
and
now.
Australia, I think, or something. It seems to be COVID was caused more by reckless or uneducated health practices than people eating bats. Or maybe it was from a bat, but it's not from a lot of the videos that were coming out on media. So just be careful and all that.
The fact is, we have it.
Yeah, the fact is we
Let's
have
deal
it.
with that.
Yeah, let's worry about that more than anything. But anyway, that's all we're going to say about that. We're going to go back to bats now.
Oh, yes.
Today we'll cover a brief history of how bats became a form of food, where in the world do people eat bats, and some of the dishes that people make with bats.
Batman. Do you think Batman eats bats?
I don't know, actually. I think if he's in
I
a
think
bad mood,
he was
yeah.
bitten by a bat, so a bat ate him.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. It's like a whole bat orgy. Food orgy. A borgy.
I would extract revenge on that bat and eat it back.
Yeah, that's probably what he did. He doesn't really
no,
talk.
wait, he's not even a superhero in the sense where like Spider-Man was bitten by a spider. I don't think a bat ever actually touched him.
I think he just
He's
hung out
like,
with bats.
Bats are cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably just hung out. He's like, oh, I'm in a cave.
You know what we should do
bats.
then? We should eat Batman.
See if it tastes like bats.
I mean, I don't know because I never had a bat in my mouth.
Yeah. Neither have I. Well,
they don't look appetizing.
No,
at all.
they do look kind of terrifying. But I kind of looked into what exactly bats are. So bats are a mammal species, just like humans. There's over 1,200 species of bats, which actually cover about 20% of all the different mammal species in the world.
There's a lot of bats.
It's a lot of types of bats, yeah. And they are the only mammals capable of true flight. By true flight, we mean an animal that's capable of staying in air without using height, gravity, or wind to keep afloat. It usually requires a special set of biological modifications to their body in order to keep flapping. Insects and birds are probably the most common types of animals who are able to achieve true flight. So while other mammals would use things...
I can't think of another mammal that flies.
Well, I think one common one that people might think flies is the flying squirrel.
No, they just glide.
Yeah, they just
jump
glide.
off trees.
So most other mammals who we think can fly usually only glide using height or soar using wind to stay in the air. So soaring is when you
I'm
use...
just picturing a goat running off a cliff and just gliding. So majestic.
Yeah. I think that's where the whole term "when pigs fly" comes to, because mammals don't usually are believed to be...
They're not very aerodynamic.
Not really. We're just fat pieces of lard.
Just roll.
The whole class of bats are divided essentially into two suborders, Megachiroptera, or megabats, and Microchiroptera, or microbats.
Microbats.
Yeah. Which order do you think contains more species? The megabats or the microbats?
Probably micro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little things have big variations.
Yeah, exactly. Of the 1,200 species, there are about 1,000 of them which are microbat, compared to only under 200 species of megabats. Now, when we do say megabats, they're not actually super big. Their wings only stretch to about 3 feet or less, actually. So it's kind of tiny.
Oh,
now, there are like
cute.
really big megabats that can probably be known to spread as much as 5.5 feet or whatever, but for the most part, megabats are not that big.
I've seen a pretty big bat before.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen a bat in real life until that point.
Really?
I was in Indonesia.
Yeah.
I was in Bali, and like there's just this lump hanging from a tree branch.
Right.
I was like, why did somebody tie like a garbage bag onto this tree? So for some reason I took a picture of it, not knowing it's a bat, and the flash went off, and then I woke it up. It just like opened its wings, stared at me. It was kind of like, go fuck yourself, lady. And then like curled back into its little garbage baggy sack. It was really cute. But it was a big one.
Right. Yeah. So that's probably a megabat. And the reason why I also say that it does make sense is because what differentiates megabats and microbats, what I find were two things. So one thing is microbats have bigger ears and use echolocation to see, while megabats have smaller ears and usually use their vision to see. So what probably happens is you flash the thing and it actually saw the flash, rather than microbats who use...
Yeah, he didn't look very pleased.
Yeah, because microbats usually use their ears, megabats would use their eyes to see, so you probably blinded that bat. He's like, come on, man.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
Another differentiator is usually you see megabats in trees and microbats are in caves. That's why the whole echolocation thing is more useful in the cave. It's not really that useful in real life or outside of caves because there's nothing to bounce the sound around. Another last differentiator is diet. So megabats are known usually also as fruit bats, which means they usually eat fruits.
They would give him a banana.
Yeah. Different kinds of bananas. All the kinds.
Plantain
big ones,
bananas.
small
Little
ones.
tiny bananas.
Yeah. And other kinds of fruits. What do you think microbats are more commonly known as?
Like vampire bats?
Exactly.
Bloodsuckers.
So microbats are known usually also as vampire bats, so they generally eat blood or insects, or sometimes small animals as well.
Mm-mm.
What I did find most interesting while researching bats, though, was how many different cultures include bats to some degree in their history. What's even more fascinating is that bats are one of those they're not all good animals, or they're not all bad. For example, in Chinese art, you seem to find bats portrayed in a positive outlook almost always. They're usually seen as a symbol of happiness.
They're cute.
Yeah.
I think they're cute.
Yeah, I think so too. The example in Chinese art would be the wufu, I think it's called, which translates into the 5 blessings. So usually when you draw out these 5 blessings, you could usually see a bat as the animal of choice to be included.
Oh.
In some areas of Europe, like Spain, Switzerland, or England, you usually see you usually see bats in their history. You commonly find them in armors or coat of arms, often symbolizing strength or vigilance.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't
Which is
think they're
kind of
very
funny
strong.
for like tiny little animals. They're apparently seen as the strong side.
That's cute.
Yeah. On the flip side, though, places like Nigeria or the Ivory Coast find them to be more evil or spiritual. They see bats as part of witchcraft or as ghosts or spirits.
It's like because they're nocturnal.
Maybe, yeah. I think that's a part of it. Like, it's kind of when you're walking at night and you see a bat, it's not the most...
You see like a shape flapping around.
Yeah, it's not a friendly looking sight. Or it's kind of scary when you, I don't know, example, you flash a whole group of bats and they're all start flying at you. It's kind of terrifying.
That is kind of terrifying.
In Christianity, you also see bats as unclean or evil, apparently. And even in some modern American perceptions, we usually see bats as something dark or evil,
Yeah, they just get associated with vampires.
Yeah, vampires, sometimes demons. Even if you think about Batman, right? Like, he's not the most jolly superhero.
But he's super rich, so it's cool.
Yeah, he's super cool. So he has strength and vigilance, but he's super dark.
But he doesn't kill people.
Apparently, yeah, no, he doesn't. So they're almost, I guess if they would be a hero, they'd be an anti-hero.
Broody, like a broody
yeah.
hero.
Yeah, Jon Snow's probably a bat.
Jon Snow just makes this face that makes him look constipated.
Yeah, he's too much of a bitch to be a bat, though.
I see him as more of a ferret, but like less cute. Like a less cute ferret.
Like a
a ferret that never got brushed.
Like if you walk into a ferret's house in the middle of it taking a dump.
Yes, like a very mangy ferret that's been partying for too much.
A ferret with diarrhea. That's Jon Snow.
I see it.
I'd buy that.
He's not a bat. He's definitely like a weird...
A pooping ferret. Yeah. I do believe that the reason for the polarity here of loving and hating bats are because they really are kind of cute if you see them, I guess, in the day.
They are. I think so.
But when it comes to, say, like environment stuff, they could be good for the environment because,
Do they pollinate?
I think they probably help because they do eat fruits and stuff and some flowers and stuff. But they also can be harmful disease carriers, as we know from SARS. And I think it's SARS, right? Or what's the other one?
SARS and MERS.
Yeah, was MERS bat too?
One of them?
I know one of them was pig.
I don't know.
Mad cow was cow.
No, mad cow is... They just called it that to
a
confuse
pooping
you.
Ferret.
A great ferret disease.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of how bats really are. So I guess like Batman, it's hard to tell if society's better with or without bats.
I think Gotham is better, I guess, with Batman.
But
sure, we'll go with that.
Some people say if Batman wasn't there, you wouldn't also have villains who were that sophisticated.
Exactly. It's like an arms race.
Yeah. When it comes to where people eat bats, only about 13% of bat species are actually hunted for different reasons. They're hunted for food, medicine, sport, or for goods, so like their hide or their hair, or teeth, sorry.
Their teeth?
Yeah. Usually that's probably more for medicinal stuff. Having the teeth. I don't think I found anything about people eating bat teeth.
How do you eat teeth?
Yeah,
It's just
I don't know.
Good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
They probably grind it like bone, when they grind it and put it in a powder and make it like into medicine and stuff. That's how I would assume it happened.
I thought they just straight up like pop in them like Tic Tacs. But it's the least minty. And it goes down real rough.
Yeah. Probably if you do the vampire bats, it would probably just stab you. You'd get ulcers.
You get internal bleeding.
Yeah. You'd cure your heart disease, but get ulcer. When it comes to food, though, which order do you think of bats are most commonly hunted? Micro or mega?
Probably mega.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's more meat.
Exactly. So almost half of megabat species are hunted for food. Obviously, it's not as much. It's not as many species as microbats. So half of it would be 100 versus half of microbats would be 600. But it's still a lot of megabat species. And when we think about 13% of bat species, that's, I don't know, somewhere between 100 something. Yeah. If you have 1,200 bat species. 10% is 120. And I don't know what 3%. Anyway, it would be somewhere
That's
in the
a lot.
150.
It's a good amount.
Yeah, math.
That's not my forte.
No.
But I mean, it's a lot, yeah.
It is a lot. So it mostly is megabat species. Historically speaking, humans seem to have been eating bats for thousands of years. Some archaeologists suggest that humans may even be eating them as early as 74,000 years ago.
Ooh.
You could see
That's
bats
old.
eaten all around the world. Yeah, I think it wasn't even Homo sapien at that point. It was a different kind of Homo.
We have Neanderthals,
Yeah.
other humanoid species.
Yeah, different
Before
Homo.
we came along and probably ate them all too.
Yeah, it's probably the hairier one, maybe. I don't know. So today, bats are eaten essentially all around the world, like Asia, Africa, Europe, Oceania, or South America. We can't cover all the differences in one episode, so I'm just going to briefly cover all of this with some factoids.
Factoids.
In Africa, bat hunting is most common in West Africa and Central Africa, like Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently in the east coast of Africa, in Tanzania, you could find one of the largest bats, the Pemba flying fox. Yeah. Actually,
Which is
most of the
actually
bats
bad.
are called flying foxes. Well, they kind of have, especially some bats have a fox-like appearance to them.
They do. Their snouts are kind of similar.
Yeah. And some of the microbats have ears that are foxy-like, I guess.
Yeah, they're cute. They're so cute.
Yeah. So the Pemba flying fox is named after the island of Pemba off the Tanzania coast. These bats
You
can
mean
stretch...
Tanzania?
Tanzania, yeah.
I'm like, what country are you talking about?
Reading is hard.
Okay. Reading is hard. I mean, we've regressed to, I don't know. Our brains are not all there.
It's all right.
It's okay. Keep going.
It's named after the island of Pemba off the Tanzania coast. These bats can stretch as large as 5.5 feet for their
Ooh,
wings. So this
big
one I was
boy.
mentioning. Some bats are a little bit bigger than the usual 2.5, 3 feet wing stretch of megabats.
Megabats.
Once a common sight in dining tables and often roasted whole, these bats are now protected as they were once on the verge of extinction. So I think it was the 70s or 80s that they were so close to extinction that they just decided to protect them. And a big reason for it is because they were eaten because the Pemba people respected the bats.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were on the verge of extinction, the government was like, okay, we probably should stop eating it. And everyone was like, yeah, we don't want it to go extinct. So it seemed like a joint effort. You didn't have some Karen wanting to speak to a manager about keeping her right to eat.
That's
bats.
actually surprising because I thought humans are just good at killing a thing until it's all gone and they're like, oh shit, kill this thing.
I think it depends. I don't know. I find more. I don't know. I'm not gonna.
I mean, we almost lost all the wolves.
Yeah.
We almost lost all the. Was it the buffalo?
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it could be because of ignorance, but sometimes it could be because of arrogance. So
Yeah. We lost all the
depends.
dodo birds because they wanted to
Yeah.
make hats. So you know,
I'm pretty sure the dodo birds just they're like they were like
they're real dumb looking. So I don't
they
know.
were actually mammals, and they were like goats. They were the ones who were jumping off the cliffs trying to fly.
If that's what they sound like,
Yeah.
I'd like to imagine that they do.
Yeah.
Oh, smack.
Yeah. In Asia, most people seem to believe China is the most common place where people eat bats, but it's actually Southeast Asia. So
Mhm.
every country in Southeast Asia except Singapore has some kind of history of hunting bats. The Indonesia, Philippines, and Malaysia seem to be the top hunters when it comes to bat hunting. These three
Mhm.
countries now have some regulation to protect some bat species who are on the brink of extinction.
Oh.
I actually remember back when I was in the Philippines, when we'd visit our old province where my mom's family came from,
Mhm.
the house there had a storage facility that got overrun by bats, and now it's just a bat cave.
Aw.
So it was cool. We were
took
terrible
over.
kids because then we had BB guns and tried to shoot. I don't think we ever killed a bat, but we tried to shoot it. But I think they were microbats because they were super tiny and they were just super quiet. But you'd hear them chirp once in a while. And kind of creepy because it's in the entrance of the house. So before you come into the house, it's the storage place.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just there. That house is actually kind of...
They just hang out?
Yeah, they just hang out. It was kind of cool. I wish I could show you pictures of that house because it was this kind of mansion, like old Spanish mansion kind of house. So
this sounds like a vampire fanfic.
It does. It kind of resembles, like, if you think of how what's that place in the north in Game of Thrones is called?
I didn't
like where all the
Game of Thrones.
Anyways, it looks like one of those medieval kind of castles or whatever. But anyway, it's not like super
the
fancy.
Place where all the Starks came from?
Northridge.
Wow. North.
Yeah, wherever that
That's
is.
in California.
So yeah, essentially it was a cool house. In the rest of Asia, though, places like Bangladesh and India and Pakistan are also known to hunt bats, but it's actually rather infrequent. So as we mentioned, Southeast Asia is really the most common place in Asia. Yeah. In Europe, bat hunting does happen, but it's quite rare, especially for bats for food. Most likely reason for this is that fruit bats or megabats are the edible type of bat species, as we mentioned, and most bats in Europe are vampire bats, which I think my guess would be they're too small. Yeah, they're just way too small to be worth eating.
Unless you like grab a bunch of them like popcorn chicken. You just make them into nuggets.
Batty nuggets.
Can I just get like 20 nuggets? Did you know that in England, you don't get the 10 nuggets? You get 9.
Oh, interesting. Why?
You get 6 or 9, which are multiples of 3. So I guess that makes weird sense.
Sure, I guess.
But yeah,
and
they're missing out on 1 nugget.
Yeah. Damn. But if you do go to Transylvania and visit Dracula's house, he has a drive-through there where you could order bat nuggets.
You can?
True story.
True story. Oh, is it deep fried?
I don't know, actually. Probably.
Oh, that's nasty.
I'm kidding. I don't. That would be cool, though.
Oh.
In Costanza, Italy, horseshoe bats were once commonly eaten for food, but like Pemba flying fox, they were also now protected by law.
Yay.
In Oceania, bats are most commonly hunted as well because Oceania is mostly a bunch of tiny islands. Mm-hmm. And
that's what I was asking earlier. I'm like, are they literally in the ocean?
Yeah, they are. I think they're off the Pacific coast, and there's a lot of tiny islands like Guam, Fiji, or Palau. The reason why they're commonly hunted there is because they're usually the only native land mammal, which means it's really just their only easy, simpler source of food, meat, I guess.
Bats don't look like they have that much meat on them. I mean, that's why I even wondered why people would eat bats anyway, because they just look not meaty. Not meaty at all. Like, you're not going to get much out of, even the big ones. You're not going to get that much meat out of it. Yeah.
Well, I guess for Oceania, since it's the only one, or because there's a lot of them, right? So if you could catch a good number of them, then it's kind of good.
Yeah.
As a random fact, a lot of the videos that were being circling around the internet of people eating bats come from Palau. Not China.
Not China.
One of the more popular videos, actually, you could see in the background, it says Palau Resort.
They're not even trying.
Nope. This is the xenophobic media we're talking here.
And also the non-fact checking ones.
Yeah, I don't know.
See a thing posted, you're like, must be true.
Yeah. In South America, there are a variety of bats available, but in Europe, they're rarely used for food as well.
Unless you want popcorn bats.
In Transylvania, South America, Dracula also has a drive-in there where you could buy bat nuggets.
What kind of dipping sauce can we get with this? I really want some blood sauce.
Probably ketchup.
Oh, okay.
Blood orange.
Blood orange sauce.
Yeah, it's a sweet and sour kind of sauce, probably.
Delicious.
Yeah. When it comes to catching a bat, it's kind of simple, but can be also kind of dangerous. A hunter would often equip themselves with nets or net guns to catch these bats, and then they're bagged for transport. The hazard mostly comes from securing the bats after capture, so most of them don't have any protective gear, like even gloves or whatever, so
these are bitey little fuckers.
they are bitey little fuckers, so they tend to get scratched or bitten because of that. Aside from the cuts you get from the bites or scratches, you also run the risk of getting disease, as we mentioned, or rabies, like dogs.
Rabies. I'd rather have rabies than babies. That's just a personal take, though.
Wow, that's wow, you must really hate babies that much.
I do.
At home, if you do end up seeing a bat in your home, the best way to get rid of the bat is to just give the bat an opportunity to escape. Not garlic. Those are vampires.
Oh, right. Whoops, my bad.
Species of human.
Vampires are species of human. They're not species of bat.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Exactly. Science. The reason why you want to give them an opportunity to escape is because they probably don't actually want to be stuck in your home to begin with. So if you see them in a room or something, just close all the doors and open up a window to let the bat out. But make sure you don't light up the bat's exit point. They're not like us, they won't walk into the light.
They'll walk into the dark?
I guess so, yeah. So you probably want to light up your room.
It'll just leave.
Yeah, just get them out. You don't have to scare them.
Unless they're like flies or wasps that just repeatedly slam their face into the glass.
I think the microbats might not, because they use echolocation, so they won't see glass. They'll just hear.
They'll hear. Well, they kind of see. I don't know. I don't know what it feels like for them to echolocate, because we don't do that.
Yeah. For them, I don't know how they hear it. It's like how you hear how a room could be bouncy or how you're far away or not. Like even when we were testing the microphones.
All right, yeah.
It'd be something like that.
I just think it's really cool that some animals have senses that we don't have. And it's impossible to quantify what that feels like for them.
Yeah. For the most part, it's them having more heightened sense specific. I guess they're more talented at specific senses. So if you want to try it out, you could try to be blind for a while. And then you might develop really better hearing skills. Because I know there are some studies that show that if you're limited in one in one sense, some of your other senses will help adapt to it.
Be good.
Not always, but sometimes.
We should when restaurants are open again, we should go do that blind restaurant.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Eat in the dark.
I'd be down.
All right.
Hopefully they serve bat.
I don't think anyone's going to be serving bat for a long time.
Yeah, I guess not.
Now that it's associated with the coronies.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, when it comes to cooking bats, you could actually cook bats, though, in a variety of ways. You could grill it, barbecue it, roast it, boil it, fry it, however way you want.
Popcorn.
Yeah. Oftentimes, when we're looking to the dishes, they're usually cooked whole rather than chopped up into popcorn. The one issue, though, that comes about when preparing bats, especially when you prepare it whole, is bats kind of stink.
I've never sniffed a bat before. So
a lot. Their hide isn't the most pleasant smelling one.
Yeah, I would imagine I don't know if greasy is the right word,
but yeah, they're kind of gross.
Yeah, no wild animal is really that pleasant smelling.
I don't think so. Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever petted a moose?
No, I haven't.
They're dripping with grease.
Oh, really? Yeah, I think I've heard really about that. Yeah. Yeah. So
smell-wise, I'm not sure, but because I can't smell anyway. I have a horrible sense of smell.
So if you could smell it, then they must be bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Because they do stink a lot, you often want to prepare a bat by first cutting that scent with stronger odors like garlic, peppers, or onions, even if you chop the bats up. To do that, you'd want to kind of keep the bats, I guess, almost marinating with these sauces to get the odors out.
Makes sense.
Yeah. As we mentioned, you usually see a bat whole, so the most common way to see bats served is seeing a whole smoked bat in a soup or a stew. Smoking is also actually a good way to...
whole bat? Like a whole bat?
A whole bat just dumped into a bowl of soup, yes.
I saw it when the coronavirus thing first started, and they were saying how bats were whatever. I saw a picture of bat soup. Yeah. And I don't know how people eat that because, yes, it's a whole ass bat. It's got its eyeballs, it's got its fur, it's got its teeth. Yep. And I'm like, how do you eat this? Are you biting? Are you eating the hair?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it would be like when you eat fish and they give you the whole fish. You just kind of
Okay, but
pick
fish
at it.
like is not hair and teeth. Well, I mean, yeah, it has
I don't
teeth,
know.
but it's
Or when-
not hairy.
Yeah, well, when you usually prepare or cook the bat, you kind of burn off the hair too. But yeah, I see what you mean. Sometimes the hair is still there, though.
Yeah, I don't know. It just looks like it's sleeping and it's just wet.
Yeah.
It's really sad. I don't.
Yep.
If I'm eating, like, I am an meat eater, but I don't want my food to be shaped like the animal that it came from.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, a lot of people in the West don't seem to be able to handle seeing the animals whole.
Yeah, no.
I love
Especially
it.
because I think it's cute. Wait, you love it? Would you
Seeing
eat a whole ass bat?
I don't know. I don't think I would eat bat though. I just meant seeing like a whole animal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never had is this part of Boodle Fight where they have a whole pig?
Yeah. Well, it could be, but it's more lechon, which is the roast pig.
Yeah.
It's a dish in itself. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I would like that, actually.
We could try it.
We should try it.
Get some friends. It's like, I think you could get it for $250 for the whole pig, I think.
How do we socially distance eat a whole pig?
I think we'll have to wait for the end of this whole social distance thing. Yeah.
End of times.
Exactly. Before we all die.
We'll go out eating a pig.
Yep, that sounds good to me.
That sounds good to me too. I'm fine with that.
When it comes to bat dishes, though, we can't cover all the kinds of dishes of the bat in the world. So I figure we'll give just a couple examples here. In Cambodia, which is a country in Southeast Asia, one common dish is bat soup. Shout out to Nick, who is looking for a bat soup recipe. This is your moment here.
I expect you to make this happen.
Yeah, let's see if you could make this happen.
You can substitute with a lump of jello that's shaped like a bat.
Yeah. Sure. I
don't think they're readily available for purchase here.
I don't think so.
We can't even buy toilet paper these days.
Let's find a black market bat dealer. So especially in the southeast Kandal province of Cambodia, you'll find bat soup, believed to be a medicinal bat soup that could help cure things like respiratory disease if you consume it with the blood of the bat.
It'll make it worse.
Or cure any eye problems if you happen to be lucky enough to have bat eyes in the bat.
I mean, don't they come with eyes?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Sometimes maybe it falls off
out?
or something like that.
Oh, that's gross.
What's interesting about the bat soup here in the Kandal province is it's presented similar to how we do large shellfish like lobster or crab here. Yeah. In North America. So, usually you go to a restaurant here. If you want to order lobster crab, they'll kind of make you pick which lobster crab you want. It's the same way there where they'll send out a cage of bats. And you could pick which bats.
Your lucky friend.
Your lucky friend, exactly. COVID-27. And there you could have
what happened
choice.
To 20?
I don't know.
In 21?
Six customers later, I guess. That's too late in the line.
Yeah, not all of them can be very severe.
Exactly.
Not all of them have what it takes to be a pandemic.
Yeah. Some of them are just tasty.
Yeah.
After you choose the bat, you're given the option to either eat it raw or have it as part of the soup. If you have it raw, they'll kill the bat right in front of you, skin it, cut it up into pieces, and have you just present it in front of you for you to eat. If you choose the soup option, then they'll go in the kitchen, kill it, and prepare the soup for you. The soup itself usually will have things like coconut milk, lemon, some peppers.
That sounds good, except for the bat part.
And then a big-ass bat in the middle of the bowl. I agree with you. The soup sounds great. So, Nick, if you're hearing us, that's how bat soup's made. Coconut milk, lemon, peppers, and whatever seasoning you want. Yeah.
And a whole ass bat.
And you just drop the bat there. And if you want to prepare the bat, it's the same, I think, in most places. You'd want to cut the flavor or the stank of the bat by dipping it in garlic or mixing it with onions first and then smoking it with all those flavors.
I think
and
that's
then
what gets
dunking
me.
the bat in the soup.
It's like, it doesn't taste good. Like,
Well,
you have to cut the taste with something.
It smells bad. It doesn't
acceptable.
necessarily taste bad.
But, like, scent is half of your taste.
It is, yes.
So if it's not good, why are you eating it?
I don't know.
That's a rhetorical question, of course.
Yeah, some people like it. I think it's a taste thing.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I like stinky tofu.
Yeah.
But I don't find it stinky.
Right.
I find it pungent.
That would probably be a similar thing. Like, people probably think bats are just pungent. As we mentioned in Palau, they also have a similar recipe that uses coconut milk, different spices. They would usually include ginger as well as a spice compared to the one in Cambodia, which I don't think has.
See, that all sounds good still.
Yeah. In Indonesia, one common bat dish is the paniki. The paniki. Yeah.
Paniki,
native. It's
don't
native.
Be a meanie.
Is that a song?
Yeah, it's by Lil Nas.
Oh,
The
well.
guy that's saying Old Town Road.
I wonder if he knew what he was talking about with panikis.
No, it's actually panini.
Oh. Apparently, I know nothing about popular culture.
Yeah. Panini, don't you be a meanie. It's lyrical it's very powerful.
That's funny.
Powerful words.
Yeah. The paniki, on the other hand, is native to the Minasan people in North Sulawesi in Indonesia, which is located somewhere in the northeast region of Indonesia. Paniki is a soup-like dish as well, which you add grilled or fried bat to.
Fried.
Yeah, so I think
accept.
I'm not sure exactly how you cook the one in Cambodia. I'm assuming it's roasted or grilled as well. This one is similar, where they put grilled or fried bat. The reason for grilling or frying is because it helps remove all the hairs.
Yes, the hair needs to
go.
go.
And then the bat is
Can't
often
eat the
cleaned
hair.
out
Gross.
and the intestines are removed, and then they are cut into chunks. So compared to the Cambodian bat soup, which has the whole bat just dunked, paniki it's soup-like, but it kind of also looks stewy, like a thick stew. But essentially, it's more like they cut up the bat. So you clean it up, you cut it up, and then you put it into a dish.
It's not bat-shaped.
Not bat-shaped at all.
Great.
Similar, though, to Cambodia, they also use coconut milk, pepper, onions, garlic, and ginger. You often eat this with rice, which is why
No.
I think it's more stewy than it is soupy.
No rice. Only bat.
Fine.
Only
Your
bat.
choice. You're great.
No rice.
In China, some places in South China can give you the option to add a whole bat to your hot pot.
Oh,
It sounds, when I was looking into it sounded more gimmicky, or it's not a common.
Right.
It's not a common thing.
Is it a grammable food?
Kind of, yeah. It's kind of one of those
It's grammable.
things.
It's like I've fallen for so many like grammable desserts that just taste like nothing but sugar.
Yeah, it's like every Vancouver
like a
restaurant.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, that ice cream looks so good, and I get
cool
one.
lemon meringue.
It doesn't taste like dairy. I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you made of?
Yep.
White substance.
I mean, I hope it's not what I'm thinking.
Bats.
Bats. Yep. Bat teeth.
Bat ice cream.
Bat teeth ice cream.
Mm-mm.
In the country of Sao Tome and Principe, estufa de mokrego. Estufa de mokrego is a form of bat stew, which is a common dish during festivals or saints' days. Yeah, I couldn't really find any recipes for this, but the images of it, I don't know, they look kind of gross.
Yeah,
Lastly,
kind of gross, like the picture of the bat, the whole wet, sad bat.
yeah.
That's
Well, this
it.
one looks more like paniki, so it's not a whole bat.
Don't be a meanie. All right.
It's just the colors were weird. Lastly, I found in Chiang Mai, Thailand, they there mash bats into a paste by boiling the bats with spices and then mashing them up until it becomes pasty.
Bat paste.
Bat paste. Yep.
I don't even know how to feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I was looking at all of these meals and I'm like, I don't know which one I would pick if I had
like
to.
none of them.
Maybe the paniki. Or, I mean, I guess with the whole bat, then you could just not eat the bat and drink the soup.
You know which one I would pick? Popcorn bat.
Popcorn bat might be good.
Yes.
It's like
'cause
popcorn
deep fried.
crickets, but bat. Yeah.
Deep fried.
Yeah. So those are all the recipes, or not recipes, all the dishes I found around.
Nick can go crazy.
So yeah, Nick, there you go. You have a ton of options there of what you could do with bat, and from bat soup to bat stew to bat paste,
soup
yeah,
to bat stew to bat paste. I hope it comes out of a tube.
Bat popcorn.
Yes.
Angel's favorite.
Yeah, love it. Just crunch, crunch, crunch. Can't stop.
Have some blood orange sauce. Yum.
Yum.
The one thing I was randomly wanting to find out is whether or not you could eat guano or bat poop. What I found is
I'm
definitely
solidly against eating poop of any kind.
Yeah, I find that gross too, but I had to ask because guano just came to my mind right when I was researching, and I found it's 100% definitely not.
Don't put that in your mouth, Nick.
Guano is definitely not edible. The one issue about guano is, as we mentioned, bats can be quite good at carrying disease.
Yeah.
So you run the risk of getting really sick with guano, to the point that even because guano can dry up, so it gets dusty. So if you
inhale it.
Yeah, so if you ruffle up a pile of guano, it could dust up and the spores can travel into you. And you could get sick because of dust. So when you see a pile of guano, just don't snort it, man.
Dust.
Yeah. One common disease is histoplasmosis, which is not contagious, but rather it's more infectious. It's a bacteria, I think it's a fungi disease. It's similar to the flu in terms of what you get, but it can also lead to longer term problems like TB or, death.
Death. It's permanent.
Like anything in life, yeah. So, as we do in Smörgåsbord, we ask two questions about all of this. Is it healthy or is it good? When it comes to health...
Do we ask those questions?
Yeah, every episode.
Oh my God, where have I...
Generally speaking, there are some cultures that believe eating bats have medicinal properties that can help cure diseases. But it seems in my research that eating bats can be more dangerous than it is healthy for you. As we all know, major risk of bats are they're good carriers of a number of different diseases like SARS and potentially COVID-19
the least
as well.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should watch Contagion.
Yeah, people keep telling me to do that.
Yeah, I mean it's like the thing to watch.
Well, let me finish my K-dramas first.
Oh, okay, those are more important.
Yeah,
because Contagion is like too real now.
Yeah, Crash Landing on You on Netflix. Everybody, I swear it's great.
I guess that's my next one. I finished watching Next in Fashion.
Oh, E was watching that too.
That's because I told her to.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Crash Landing's fun. It's not like an Oscar-winning type of movie, but
I like fun.
But going back to bats, they also seem to carry other viruses like the Hendra virus or the Nipah virus. What's scary about them is they can fly, so they could spread this infection around. So just be safe when you eat bats, I think.
Cook them real well.
Yeah.
Make sure you fry them into popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. But even if you do cook them, I found one example in Guam where Parkinson's disease-like symptoms started affecting a group of people in Guam.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've heard of this.
Yeah, so when scientists tried to understand what was causing the disease, they rooted it back to giant fruit bats of Guam. Because these bats would eat a fruit from cicada trees that contain neurotoxins. So the bat meat itself would have the neurotoxins in it. And
and it doesn't affect them like it affects us.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds about right.
So I would stray away from eating bats. At this
point, I think if you really want meat, you can eat a chicken.
Yeah, if you don't have anything else to eat, sure, go eat a bat. But just cook it well, it's like chicken, just cook it well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the second question we usually ask is it good? Aside from the pungent smell of bat,
I would say it's not.
I say no too. I don't think it sounds good. They do say the meat itself tastes like chicken. Like everything.
Just like stinky chicken.
Yeah.
Which I'd rather eat non-stinky chicken.
Exactly. So I'd avoid it. I don't think it's good.
Same.
So don't eat the guano, and we wouldn't recommend eating the bats either. Wah,
yeah.
wah.
That's a double whammy.
Yeah.
Double no. No from me, coach.
Just be friends with the bats, you know? Make bat friends.
Yeah, take pictures of them.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
Agreed.
them, not of them, Angel.
Oh, sorry.
Taking pictures of random bags and trees.
I thought it was really weird. But it's even weirder that it turned out to be a bat.
What's in your palate today?
Wow. Quarantine's not going very well over here. I've been eating Cheetos. Because I can't motivate myself to cook.
Yeah,
I
fair
hate
enough.
it. So I'm looking forward to when we do our remote video episode. So it'll actually force me to
cook.
turn on my stove.
That's funny. Yeah. I've been eating a lot of chips and drinking a lot of forms of alcohol.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, that's
We're
the
so
episode.
healthy.
We're so healthy. Quarantine's definitely done a number in our health.
Yeah. It's great.
It's like you crave the unhealthiness of the film industry.
I know. I'm just like, oh, man. I should have told Crafty I love them.
Yeah.
While I had the chance.
But yeah, anyway, that's our bad episode.
All right,
Thanks
shit.
for listening. Bye.
Signing off. Goodbye. This is Smörgåsbord. Have a ritual, myth, or something strange you want us to explore? Send us a message through Facebook at Geek Happy Network or email us at team@geekhappynetwork.com. We'd love to hear from our fellow Smorgies. This show was created by Angel Lin and Mik Narciso, hosted by Angel Lin and Mik Narciso, edited by Mik Narciso and Bianca Goico, logo and graphics by Angel Lin, music by Mik Narciso, and videography by Bianca Goico.